So hedging, and why do they call it that? Well, a hedge establishes the boundaries around somebody's property. If I'm doing a hedged position, I'm not always going to eliminate risk, but I'm either going to reduce it to a place where I can sleep, or I'm going to use my stock to get a little bit of money coming in to offset some of my risk. If I already own stock, that means I'm bullish. So to hedge, I bet the other way. I use a bearish position. And if I've sold short, I'm a bear. So hedge, I'm going to bet the other way with a bullish position. We're going to look at just the first in this lesson. So remember, if I buy a call, I'm just buying the right to buy stock at the strike price. I want the upside. I don't want to pay the full price right now. The seller of the call takes on the obligation to deliver the stock at the strike price. Doesn't matter how much he or she has to pay. That's their problem if they sell the call. If I buy a put, I get the right to put or sell the stock at a strike price. And then whoever sold me the put takes on the obligation to let me do that, to put it to them. They have to buy it at the strike price. So if the stock ends up going down, I can put it to him and then he has to give me the strike price. I don't have to take the full market loss in that case. So if I buy a call, I'm bullish. If I buy a put, I'm bearish. The other two are bearish or bullish, but also neutral. If it stays at the strike price or below, the call seller is happy. If it stays at the strike price or goes above, the seller of the put is happy. So let's look at these through potential test questions. An investor owns 100 shares, so that's a long stock position. And that's what most people do. Most people are not betting against stocks for the short term. Which two of the following would provide a hedge? What is the risk on that stock position? If you've ever invested, maybe you have an IRA or a 401k, you know that this can happen. Well, I don't want to double up and buy calls or sell puts then. These are the two. They're not even making me distinguish between those. Really, we're just saying which of the following two are bearish or bearish neutral. So I'm worried the stock could go down, but if I own a put, I can force somebody to give me at least the strike price. And if I sell a call, I got a premium and that offsets some of that risk. So again, I have a long stock position. My risk is that it could drop to zero. So it's limited, but it's still kind of scary. To protect the position. Well, once we establish that his risk is the stock could go down, you don't do this or that. Do I buy a put or sell a call? To protect, you need to buy the put. It's like an insurance policy. No matter how low it goes, I can sell it for this, so I can only lose a little bit now. If you sell a call, you get a premium, but you still have a big loss potentially. And a lot of people who sell these covered calls that we're going to look at don't seem to know that. But yeah, if I'm just worried the stock could drop, there's going to be an earnings announcement, it might not go well, I don't want to sell the stock, but I want the right to sell it for a reasonable price. So that's why a lot of people don't know about options. That just seems like too much thought. They just want to buy the stock and get lucky. And of course, after you do that a few years, you might realize, hey, it might be nice to buy a put every once in a while. Or, what else could we do? I own 100 shares, so risk is that I'm wrong. Boy, has that happened before. Oh yeah. So I don't want to buy a call or sell a put. Not in this lesson. Well, how do I know whether to buy a put or sell a call? Well, that's as good as a clue could be, right? Generate income, you have to sell something. As we'll see, the problem with buying puts is you got to pay for them. Often the risk never happened, and it's just like all the insurance you buy and never use. Not that you want to use the insurance, but you want to have it. So to generate income, what is the income? It's the premium that you receive, and that's also the protection. If you take in $2.50 a share, you've got that much protection. If it goes down $1 or $2, you're still up, but if it drops any more, you should have done the other. You should have bought the put. So here, to protect, I buy a put. I've got the right to sell it for this. I can only lose down to there. Here, I don't think the stock's going to plummet, but I would like to take in a premium. That'll be my extra income, and that'll also be the extent of my protection. So that's what should we recommend, or what should they do. Here we're going to get a little bit more intense, I guess. It probably just seems that way when you first look at it. So we're going to talk about money out and money in. And if we buy a stock for 50, we pay 50. If we buy a put for 2, we pay the 2. All right, so we might as well do that for all of them. Because that's what the setup has told us. 2 purchases. Now what? Well, for the break even, and this is kind of why some people won't do this. Now if it goes to 51, I'm down. Right. You got to make this $2 back. You won't be even until it goes up by the amount that you paid. So the stock cost plus the premium is your break even. So if it goes to 52, I didn't really go up. No. If it goes to 51, I'm down. Right. But you're doing this like same reason you buy insurance. You want to be able to sleep. And that's the whole purpose of the options exchange. Allowing investors to pass their risk off to others so they can manage their risk. In any case, that might not interest the customer as much as the fact that the max gain is still what? He owns the stock, so it could go up forever. It's unlimited. Well, that's how it should be when you buy a stock, right? But it won't be when you sell a call. So you got to pay $2, kind of a drag. You still have all your upside, and the whole reason you're doing it is to protect against a large loss. The stock could go to 0. You would have lost $50 a share, right? You would have lost everything. I mean, it's a limited loss, but it's everything I put in. Oh yeah, you can always lose 100% of what you pay for a stock or a bond, actually. Oh wait, this thing, exactly. You say, I want the right to sell it for no less than 45. So even if it goes to 0, I only lose 7 a share. There you go, protection. I got to pay some money to limit my potential loss, and I still have all my upside. Yeah, but if you do it 25 times, you're going to be paying 50. Well, I'm not going to go crazy, but in those situations where I like ABC, except right now it looks a little scary, I could just buy some protection. There you go. So break even, I got to get the premium back by the stock rising. There's nothing I can do about that. Just hope. I still have all the upside, and if this turns out to be disastrous, I'm protected. I'll lose a little bit, just like if I use my homeowner's insurance. I'll lose the deductible, I got to pay the premium, but that's why I can sleep and live in this house. Okay, so that was protection. Here, we're going to sell, and we do that, the reason anybody sells, to take in income. We still bought the stock, 50 a share. But now we get $3 coming in. Covered call. I've got these 100 shares. If the stock goes above 55, it'll get called away at 55. My broker-dealer will just deliver the stock. I'll receive 55 a share. And either way, I get 3 or 300 per contract. So if I like generating think about it, I just paid 50 for the stock. 3 is 6% of that. And I might be able to do 4 of these per year. So you can see why people do covered calls. The break even, here's my cushion. It could go down by 3 and I'm still okay. So stock cost minus premium. So I'm okay if it drops $2. I'm still up. And I'm okay if it drops 3. But what if it keeps going? Well, unfortunately, that's also your max loss. From there, it could just go to 0. This is not protection, partially. So I could lose 47 a share or 4,700. So from the break even to 0. Oh yeah. So if I see a question about somebody anticipating a large loss, you don't tell them to sell a call. They sell a call because they think the stock's going to trade sideways. It's not going to go way up or way down. Because there's not a lot of protection on the downside. I can still lose from 47 on down. But to me, that's not the problem. I mean, that's what you already have with stock. You buy stock, you could you could lose exactly what you paid. And I actually have a stock where it looks like that might happen. But in any case, I don't like this because of the upside. The max gain is no longer unlimited. If this goes up above 55, it's going to be called away at just 55. So I can make the difference here plus the premium. So if you're willing to give up the unlimited upside in order to take in 3, you've now increased your income by 3, and you've given yourself some protection, but only $3 a share. Then again, you're a stockholder, and you're used to being able to lose everything down to 0. All right, so here you pay your money, you have all your upside and potentially a very small loss, protection. Here you get the premium, you don't have all the upside, and you don't have much downside protection either. But if the stock stays exactly where it is, you bought it at 50, it ends up at 50, you just got $3 a share for free.